Welcome back to True Vine Talks with Rachel and Linda. We are glad you're joining us today. Today we're going to talk about what to do when you and your significant other get into a conflict. And in EFT, which is the model that Rachel and I use, is talking about when we get into that tango with each other. So what do you think, Rachel? What are some things that you would suggest people do when they start getting into that conflict dance, that cycle?
I would say first paying attention and noticing what the triggers of the arguments are.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you think?
Yeah. So often, couples will come to me and it's finances and sex. People argue about finances and sex. But in EFT, what I've learned, and I keep learning, is that we're fighting on the surface, but what's really happening is we feel like our person or our significant other doesn't see us, and they don't care about us, and they don't want to be around us. So it's more about feeling unwanted, disconnected, and unloved.
Yeah.
So
those basic needs.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to feel wanted, loved, and accepted?
Can't think of a single person that doesn't want those things.
Oh man, I want those things.
Yeah.
So sometimes, in relationships, you're home and, the day's over and everyone's on their iPad, their Xbox, their whatever they're doing. And, you're tired and you want to sit down and have a connection with the person. And, if they're otherwise occupied, what happens?
You get upset. You don't feel seen or noticed, like you said before.
Yeah, you don't feel seen or noticed. And then what happens to you on the inside when you feel like, oh my gosh, do I even matter to this person?
Yeah, I'm being ignored.
Yeah. So then on the inside of yourself, you start to feel fight or flight.
Right.
Okay, do I want to fight with this person to get them to see me? Or do I want to run out the door and leave them because they don't see me? Well, in that moment, you've got to decide, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
And what happens then? Well, it's on.
The claws come out.
The claws come out, and often he or she will feel blindsided. What just happened? I was just sitting here on my chair looking at my latest, what is it they look at online to read? Reddit.
Oh.
Reddit, I'm reading Reddit. And what just happened? Why are you coming at me like this? And so then they get all on the defense and put up their shield. And they start yelling. And before you know it, you guys are in the tango, as Dr. Johnson would tell us.
Yeah. Tell them all about the tango, Linda.
Yeah, let's talk about the tango. So in EFT, what we teach in couples therapy and family therapy and individual therapy is we're going to, find out what's happening on the inside. So when you're with a couple or an individual or a family, you want to make it in the moment and say, hey, what's going on for you right now? I saw that you looked angry just now. What's happening for you? And see, where they're at with that. If they say, well, he always gets on his iPad and I'm trying to get him to talk to me and see me. And so you want to process that with them in the session. And maybe kind of explore, some different emotions. What else is going on? Yeah, you say you're angry. And what else might you ask them, Rachel?
Oh, yeah. Where do you feel that in your body when you're angry? You know, does your throat get tight? Are you, do you get a headache? Does your stomach feel upset? Give them a little menu, and then they'll understand what you're asking for.
Yeah, and how come, as EFTers, as I call us, how come we ask the person about their body experience?
Well, we want them to really connect with everything that is happening in that moment, so they'll get better at recognizing when it happens again in the future. And also, we get really disconnected from our feelings and our emotions. We want to blame other people.
Yeah, you're sort of integrating the person with their emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. So we want them to be aware, become aware. Oh man, when I get angry, I feel it. I feel it in my chest. I feel it in my stomach. Oh man. And so that helps them to sort of be like, oh, okay. So you are feeling like you want to just flee right now or beat him up. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, instead of that, tell me what else is happening. Is there anything else going on for you in this moment? And they might be like, oh, well, I just get sad. I get kind of sad when I look over and he's reading another thing and he doesn't even make eye contact with me. I don't even know if he's there for me. Yeah. So you dip down. As EFTers, we're helping our clients dip down to something deeper and see where they're at emotionally.
Yes. Is that where we do the primary emotion, where the secondary is anger, and then what's under that is sadness.
You got it.
Feeling lonely.
That's exactly right. Good job. Yes. Yes, you're getting them to become more aware of those primary emotions. Very good. And as you're talking to them, and the other person, their significant other, is hearing that, it sort of primes the other person to get online with their care system and be like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you felt sad because I wasn't looking at you. I just saw the anger. So I wanted to leave.
Yeah. They didn't know everything that happened inside, the mind and body of their partner. They just saw that angry reaction.
So they wanted to exit, keep themselves safe. That's what us as humans do. We keep ourselves safe, even from others. If they seem like they're going to hurt us, even emotionally. People always think it's physical. It's not physical. Of course, we don't hurt each other physically, no. But emotionally, you can be very mean to people by tuning them out.
Yeah.
And avoiding them. That's that can be psychological warfare to play and ignore someone that cares about you. That's mean. Very mean. But people in these tangos, they're not actually mindfully, oh, I'm going to be mean and ignore you. They're actually protecting themselves.
Yeah, they're putting up a shield because they're not comfortable expressing and feeling emotion.
Yeah, good. So, once you do that part, and we call this the tango, and you get the other partner's care system online, you turn to that person and you say, hey, what was that like to hear that they feel sad? They really just feel sad when they don't see you look at them and see them. And they might say to you, that's new information. Oh, yeah, that is, isn't it? And if it's safe enough, you want to engage the couple in an enactment. And that's a structured interaction to help the couple bond and be close. So the change is in those interactions in your session. Okay? So once you've got him online, then you look to the other client and check in. Hey, what would that be like? If it feels safe, couples aren't usually ready at the first few sessions to do this. So be careful in your enactments. Make sure it's a safe thing. And then you look at the other client and you say, what would it be like to tell him I'm really just sad when you don't see me? I feel like you don't see me anymore. That makes me really sad. What would that be like to say that? And go ahead.
I think a lot of people are going to be scared because they're not used to having that exchange of very vulnerable, raw emotion. So they're going to, in session, I can imagine they're very hesitant and a little bit awkward. So is that what you experience a lot?
Mm-hmm. Very guarded. And if they're not ready, we as the counselor, EFTers, we don't press it. We table it. Okay, it is too scary. But you shared so much just now with me, and he got to hear that, or she got to hear that. Whichever, if you're dealing with the wife or the husband. And, that's huge. And we say that to share that you felt sad, that he didn't see you in that moment, that was big. And you want to validate your client. We want to talk to them about, how brave it was for them to even share that. And, that's where you tie the bow on it in EFT, if you're at your end of your session, and say, you guys did a lot today, and we'll work towards him feeling more safe.
Yeah.
In the next session, to actually be able to fearlessly look him in the eyes and say, I just feel sad. I feel sad when you don't see me. So EFT is very much in the moment, present processing. I learned that from the great guys down in Tennessee this weekend at Red Therapy Group. Is we want to be in the present moment with our clients. And it's just, that's where the change happens. The mind, body, heart change happens. That's why when people leave True Vine, they say, oh my goodness, I feel better. Yeah.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. And so when you're in the present moment, with your clients, how is that different for you, Rachel?
In the present moment, I think for them, it's really reassuring and comforting to have someone that's just right there with them, kind of holding their pain, experiencing their life story.
Mm-hmm.
It's much different than any experience that they've had talking to a friend or a family member that might need to rush off somewhere in a few minutes, so they're not fully there with them because they're worried about what they got to do next.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good. So you're saying that you're being present and fully with your client is a whole different experience than their interactions with family or friends.
Yes, I hope so.
Of course it is. Yeah. And that's why everyone needs a counselor. Mm-hmm. And needs someone to just sort of bounce off and reflect present process and what's happening for them in their life. And that's what we do here at True Vine. We help people with their emotions, their attachment bonds, and their internal struggles. And we promote self-awareness and taking care of your self-care, your body.
Absolutely.
And what else do you want to add to that, Rachel? Yeah.
Well, I want to ask a little bit about going back to the enactment.
Yeah.
And you have, if the person has been in session enough, they're feeling comfortable, confident, they turn to their partner, they express their need and how they're feeling, and then here comes a bullet or a block.
Yeah.
Can you explain the blocks a little bit and how you work with those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. So, in the former example I was sharing, she's like, I feel sad when I look at you and you're reading Reddit. And he says, oh gosh, you're always doing something yourself. So that's what I would, you're always fixing your hair, your makeup, or you're going to the salon, or he'll say something kind of rude, or she will, and so that's the bullet, is when the person, they block that emotional reciprocity, and they don't share that with the person, and they don't resonate with their emotion, and they throw up a defense. It's their shield. Well, whatever. You're always over there watching Housewives. Why? I'm just getting on my phone reading Reddit because you weren't even paying attention. I mean, they go off. So you as the counselor, you're catching the bullet, as Rachel said. So you just move closer, like you can physically move closer and say, hey, yes, that you're saying that sometimes it's hard for you because you don't know if she needs you. So let's just process that for a minute. That brought a reaction for you. And he or she may say, well, yeah, because I didn't even know I wasn't paying attention. And so they go into their defenses. But you're like, so what are you feeling right now? And they might share, well, I'm feeling angry and defensive. Oh, so right now you're feeling these things. Yeah, I am. And then you just go, wow, so that's very much how she was feeling earlier. And you sort of process with them what's happening. You want to get people to their emotional experience. What's happening in your body right now as you just attacked and you went on that spiel? Yeah, you're saying that this matters. You want to validate them, correct? But you also want to get them to some more of that emotion. What's really happening for them right now? And so you want to validate that. That's how you catch the bullet. And you don't want to leave that person hanging there. So you do get a lot of blocks in therapy. I get them kind of often. So is that helpful, Rachel? You want to validate their experience and what they're saying, but you want to catch that.
Yes, very. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of a back and forth, just letting them sit in their own experience, but be kind of in front of the other one. So you're really building empathy.
Yes.
Between the two. Yes. And letting them understand this is really what's happening, even though this is what you're seeing. It's awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah, because you want to bring them back into the present moment. Okay, so when she shared that with you, you reacted. And you, as a therapist, you want to say, oh my goodness, that brought something out for you. Yeah? What's going on right now? I see you. I hear that you're upset. What's going on? Yeah. And then, the other person's over here. They're like, oh, I risked telling him I'm sad, blah, blah, blah. You're like, yes, and that was so brave. And you guys just went back into what you all do anyways. That cycle, the negative interactional cycle, you two got back into it just now. You're just doing what you normally do. So you're making them mindful of what happens. Mm-hmm. And like you just said, in the present moment, building empathy. So that didn't get us back where we want to be, which is feeling loved, connected, wanted, shared in my sad, sharing in my hurt. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah. Because in EFT, and what I learned even more that got reinforced, is we want to keep going back to our anchors, which is reflecting the present process and, what's happening in the room in the now, okay? And we're trying to get them to get past the those secondary emotions and what's happening underneath. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coaching couples to better express and meet each other's needs.
Yes.
Powerful.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're catching the present cue. You don't want to ignore those, those bullets and blocks, because they're just showing you what they do normally.
You gotta be a goalie. You're at the net.
I love it. I love it. That's a great analogy. Be the goalie. Yes.
Blocking.
Yeah. And then that's where change is happening. So it's happening within them, and you're creating a change in their interaction between. Is that kind of helpful?
Mm-hmm.
I know the language is different, but it's good stuff. So here at True Vine, we're working really hard to help rebuild, repair, and create healthy bonds between, and also what's happening for the individual. So we hope that you will come and see us and let us help you with your bonds.
Yes.
What do you think, Rachel?
Everybody come.
Yes, call us. Call us or email us and we'll get back with you. We have flexible hours. Thank you for joining us once again for True Vine Talks here at True Vine.
Bye.
Bye.